wanted to make this a kind of open letter to, I don't know if his name's Patel. They came in and bought this Quality Inn, Sterling Road. I think they own just about every motel in town and out in Troutville. This is Roanoke. My point is that I was in politics, and quite frankly, I was kidnapped and brought to this country, and that's why all this is happening to me. But I put that all on other videos, and it's political, this mess is. I want to say this, I'll say it again, I'm allergic to chemicals, and that's what's been used against me the last years. I came to Roanoke in '86. I have an immune disorder, and when I'm around chemicals that are toxic to me, my immune system attacks itself, and there's nothing funny about it. Over the years, I've deliberately been put in places to live where it's toxic, and it's been put there deliberately, the chemicals. And over the years, my body's reacted by deteriorating the kidneys, liver, the inflammation's so bad. The quality of life, it's a living hell, living death. I could go back to giving why this is happening. It shouldn't be. They should be locked up and put away and charged with assault with a deadly weapon, all kinds of crimes. But I wanted to make this a kind of open, because I came back here to Quality Inn last Saturday. Yesterday was a week ago. The reason I came here is this is ongoing, and I'm getting passed from place to place, and whenever I get there, the fumes and the chemicals are waiting on me. And now you try telling someone that, everybody around here knows it, and they're afraid of the mess. But the point I'm making is that I'm kept sick, I'm kept running from place to place, I pay rent, and I have no money hardly. And if I put groceries together, I end up having to leave and lose them. And it's horrifying to know that nobody really cares. Americans don't. It's a joke. I'm British, so the hell with me. And they committed the crimes, this people in government did, so they're above the law. And I'm going to say again, maybe this is rich, and she said that. Back in '04, August 14th of, not '04, of '09, Linda Barton, wife of retired Virginia State Trooper Carl Barton, said to me, she brought me off Roanoke Mountain, National Park Service, and I was paid there, and I've always paid. It leaves me explaining, because they're putting me through hell in really life-threatening situations, really. Somebody in the middle of the night poured kerosene on my fuel, on my tent, North Face tent. I came out of there and had to stay on the, well, since there's so much today, anyway, I had to sit outside on the bench. The next day, he retired State Trooper Barton. They were supposed to be there because they were hosts. So they brought me down, and his wife took me to Affordable Corporate Suites, off Starkey Road on Overland Drive. And they paid the deposit. And I stayed 17 months living in hell. It's shocking what people will do when they don't have to pay for their crimes. And I get into telling why the law enforcement's involved in doing this to me, and they shouldn't be. It's illegal, and they get people to participate by getting stuff on their family or the corporation or their children, like drunk driving or drugs, and in return for helping the cops and what they're doing to me, they drop the charges or lessen them, and that's plain and simple is what's going on. Over the years, this just killed me. My kidneys, liver, lungs, you name it, my legs. It's got where it paralyzes them. There's a certain fume the last months that was used, because the place I lived prior to moving here was owned by their family. And they were actually remodeling out there, but this was happening prior to that. But at least I could take pictures and say, because they'll just say they're not doing it. but the remodeling, you see all the stuff laid out there. And anyway, I came here and I called because I'm left with no money and it's cold. I called Choice Motel, and they had, I didn't know I had it, but they said I had 20 days built up, awards nights that I didn't have to pay for. So it came through a reservation back here through them to Quality. Now, I've lived here 14 months, owned by somebody else, and Shaw and Patels are the owners. I guess Shaw is, but it's Maverick Holding. So they came in, I guess, about February, and by March the 3rd, they meant to get me out, okay? And I was just about dead. And this is deliberate. There's nothing happenstance about it. It's just cold-blooded. They're told that I can't go to the law. The law's instructing them to do it. So I left, and you should see me pulling my luggage and sick and stumbling. I'm 75, next week 76. Now then, I come back here, and I thought, well, they threw, maybe it won't be this way anymore. And it doesn't matter. I try to leave Roanoke, I'm running back. So unless the mess is stopped, I'll die. I can hardly get around now, and I'm paralyzed from the stuff. But I came back, just all I'm asking is I pay for the room. I'm paying to be gassed and killed is really, instead of a gun and a knife, they're using fumes and where I'm living against me. So I came in and I just signed in because the reservation was made. I came to the room, stayed here a couple of nights. I go up for breakfast. I don't speak to anybody. Personnel's all changed just about. But anyway, I came back from just walking. I could walk a little. Came back and the fumes had started. It's about 2-3 days after I came. I passed out. I woke up and the power was off. So I called, and the same girl that checked me in, and I've put this on before. She instructed me that it's dark and it's cold as heck up here. I could move 2 doors down, nowhere else, and then she said something about upstairs. I said, you know that I can't walk hardly, and she said, I know, I checked you in. Just cold as cold can be. And anyway, then she said, a customer can't occupy 2 rooms. I thought, I just asked for the electricity, told you the electricity was off, and you were going to have somebody cut it on, and then you call back and say you can't, so I can move down there. Well, I didn't mention any fumes, and I haven't this time, anything about anything. Because you can't tell them it's deliberate. They'll deny it and say it's nuts. This is exactly it. So I couldn't get back to my medicine and to my glasses and my other stuff because she took the key to this room that I was in. So I went back up, and they were switching at 11, but both the same girl was there that had been so rude and mean. And the owner, by the way, suddenly jaunted in. He's wearing a hoodie and jeans. They said he was the owner. He said he had spoken to me before. I'm not sure that was him. But anyway, he sat down and he said, if you hadn't come through Choice Motel, I wouldn't have let you back in. I want to remind you, if anybody's even listening to this, I have not committed a crime. This whole orchestrated mess has been done against me, and it's been life-threatening. It's been breaking the law that nobody wants to tell about. They talk about the North Korean leader. You don't want this told. So anyway, without getting into why on this one, I'm going to get this part in, I hope, because it's part of the ongoing ludicrous and beating the hell out of me and killing me. But anyway, he sat there, and he just made up lies. He said, you complain, you complain, you complain. And I reminded him, I don't complain unless the fumes are there. Remember, I can't accuse them of deliberately putting the fumes there. They'll just deny it and say it's nuts. So anyway, he said, well, you're going around. Well, I did go to YouTube because I can't get an attorney. I can't go to the media. It's controlled by, well, I was kidnapped and brought over here. I put this on, and I wrote a book, and I was flown out to Flint during the campaign because the Dr. Congressman I wrote about, plane went down, and he was part of the Flint shooting and programming.